Okay, hi, this is Peggy. This one here is a little weird. Okay, so the question that I keep coming across on a regular fucking basis, so I'm going to regularly fucking answer this, is why are my sales slash visits slash etc. whatever down? And it's almost always followed with, did Etsy change the algorithm? This is usually how the question is structured. My sales are down, Etsy's doing something. It's like, it doesn't work that way. Can Etsy tweak the algorithm from time to time? Absolutely. Do they? Probably. Is it static? Are they trying to punish some and reward others? No. I mean, they might tweak the algorithm where they're going to give priority to people with lower sales to help build them up. So bigger shops might take a hit for a week of lower sales. I don't know how that works. I do know that when we say the algorithm, we are talking about a much bigger and much more complicated piece of math than people realize. It's not that simple. The algorithm is the amount of views you have, the amount of favorites you have, the amount of reviews you have, your current level of sales compared to your current level of views. They basically break everything down into a number and build a giant mathematical formula around it. So does the algorithm change once in a while? Probably. Does the algorithm, how it applies to your activity, change once in a while? Most definitely. Okay. Does Etsy use the algorithm to punish people? No, I don't see how that's possible. You're talking about a wall. You're talking about, when we say a wall of text or a wall of this, when it comes to the algorithm in this type of environment, we're literally talking about a wall of numbers. If you were to write it down, it would take a whole lot of time. So what's really happening? Well, most of the time, it's got nothing to do with the algorithm, because everybody is trying to optimize their SEO, optimize their search terms. You got 7.5 million people who are constantly tweaking their shop to do better than you. So maybe a bunch of them just did better than you this week. Maybe you had 10,000 people improve their SEO this week, and so now you're just falling just that little tiny bit behind, and so you're not showing up as much because Etsy didn't do anything. Your competition did. That's why people are constantly hovering over SEO and search terms and all this stuff. So the idea of it being the algorithm beyond small, minute, temporary ways is probably not even there. From a mathematical standpoint, I don't see how that's possible. Like I said, except for in small, temporary ways, because the algorithm just really doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way because math doesn't work that way. What's usually happening is seasonal fluctuations, daily fluctuations, weekly fluctuations. Okay, up here in Canada, we have a thing called the child tax benefit. It's no big deal. Basically, we used to call it baby bonus back in the day, which probably makes a lot more sense. If you're not in Canada, what this means is that for every child you have, the government gives you a stipend every month. So a lot of families that qualify to receive this stipend, and it's a monthly check. It's a monthly check that comes in. It's basically a tax. Think of it as a preemptive tax refund instead of getting a big refund at the end of the year for your dependents deductions. Okay, so back when my kids were young enough that I got a baby bonus check, I got a child tax benefit check, I would plan additional spending around that check coming in. So if you were trying to sell me kid-related products, or products that would benefit me as a mom, I'm going to purchase them around the same time that this money comes in, because then it's extra money. It's not taken away from my daily budget. This is just one example. Don't forget, this is just one example. Now, if you're selling products that are very, very, very appealing to seniors, you're going to find that you're going to have a sales spike pretty much around the end of the month as benefit checks come in. How do military get paid? Now, it's my understanding that most branches of the military pay monthly. When is that? Well, if your product is appealing to people with a military background, they may purchase based on when they're military. That's also considered a stipend, isn't it? They might purchase based on that. Okay, then there's the season. Now, if my big product is Christmas ornaments and my sales tank in January, why would I be surprised? Okay, I'm actually the opposite. My product has very little relationship to Christmas spending. It's not something that people try to buy as gifts for each other. So Christmas for me is usually very, very quiet. And then after Christmas, people use their Christmas money to come back and start buying from me again. Some every now and again, I've only been in business for like 4 years. I shouldn't say every now and again like it's been forever. So seasonal variations combined with spending habits based on when people are getting paid, combined with time of the year. Okay, the baby bonus. Let's get back to the baby bonus. A very Canadian thing. Well, if summer's coming, what am I buying? Am I going online to buy school supplies, or am I going off to the mall to buy my kids' bathing suits to get us through the summer? Fluctuations happen. Does your product appeal to college students? Well, I think it's spring break right now for some colleges and universities. If your business is creating study aids for college students, your sales are probably tanking this week and next week, and then, so your sales are probably tanking right around now because it's spring. These kids are getting ready for their spring breaks. If they're traveling over the spring break, they need to save up money. They haven't got it for you. Okay? So when you see these fluctuations, don't panic, don't freak out, don't make assumptions that aren't there. It's okay to ask. It's like, hey, is there anything else going on? But be aware that it's relative to your product. I literally had a guy come in. I literally had a guy shows up. It's like, blah, 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 blah. My sales have tanked and I don't know why. And this isn't fair. And that's he's not driving me traffic. Blah, 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 blah. And he literally was selling Christmas decorations. It's like, yeah, but I started selling something else now. So my sales should be up. It's like, you sold Christmas decorations until Christmas was over. Nobody wants Christmas decorations right now, and then you abruptly changed your entire product line and can't figure out where your momentum went. It has nothing to do with the algorithm. Etsy didn't do anything. He changed his business. Okay, he made what was probably a really, really smart decision, but he did not intellectually, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to insult the guy because he was new, right? This was a newbie mistake, not a he's got a problem mistake. Does that make sense? So he's like, why did this not translate? It's like, well, because you were getting lots of attention in searches for Christmas items. Nobody's looking for Christmas items right now, so you're kind of starting over in the items that you're going to carry your off-season with. Makes sense. It's not the algorithm, right? He's also got to redo all of his search, SEO, descriptions. He's got to redo everything to compete with the other people that are also competing on what he's now doing, because and it makes sense. Come fall, he's going to switch back over to Christmas stuff, and he'll probably be just fine, but he may struggle for the rest of the year. Don't know. That's a different problem. Anyway, please stop blaming the algorithm whenever you're having a bad week. It really, really, really sets you up for the kind of defeatist attitude. Well, I can't do anything about it. It's the algorithm. It's like, doesn't matter. Then find other ways to promote your business so that the algorithm ceases to fucking matter to you. Algorithm doesn't matter to me because I promote elsewhere, right? Relying on Etsy for 100% of your traffic is not necessarily the best way to grow a business. Etsy has lots of great customers and people are looking for your stuff, but don't rely on it for 100%. That's a whole separate conversation. But if your business is going through a slump right now, don't blame the algorithm because you'll get defeated. Well, it's the algorithm. I can't do anything about it. It's like, yeah, you can because it's not the algorithm. And maybe the algorithm isn't helping you. Like I said, 7.5 million sellers. If you're selling jewelry, you're competing against at least 1 million other people. Jewelry is fucking so oversaturated that if you're doing really, 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 really well, it's only a matter of time before all the other people that are also trying to sell the same product tweak their algorithms in just the right way that they start slightly outdoing you. It's a constant thing to keep up. Anyway. Probably not very relevant to a lot of people. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I see this every fucking week. It's like, stop doing that. Stop blaming. Anyway, your sales may be down at a time of the year when my sales are up. My sales may be down at a time of the year when your sales are up. It really, really depends on what you're selling, who you're selling it to, who your key audience is. And don't forget, you may have the exact identical product to somebody else, but you're selling it because you're selling it in certain shapes and sizes, certain color patterns. It may be appealing to a completely different audience. Like if you've got if you're selling cell phone cases and you have My Little Pony all over it, you're selling it to kids. That came out bad. I'm going to edit that out. So don't judge. Be aware that everybody is on a different stage of the roller coaster at a different time of the day, the week, the month, the year. And so what's my time when I'm saying, well, my sales are great, that doesn't mean there's something wrong with what you're doing. When your sales are when everybody is going, my Christmas sales are awesome, I'm sitting there going, yep, and my sales suck right now. Because that's how it works. That's how it goes. And that's just life. Anyway, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do the things. See you in the next one. Bye.